regardless of what handle method that you're going to use, this is the top of our bag. We are going to work one row of single crochet all the way around the opening, and this is just going to neaten up the edges that we've got. And if you have some little threads that are left over here like I do, we can crochet over those as we go along. So we can pretty much start anywhere on the top of our bag. Doesn't matter where you start. I might start on one of the straight edges, so any of the straight edges, doesn't matter where. I'm going to put my hook, and it helps if you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to put my hook into any of the stitches that are along one of the straight edges that are here. You can also start up into a corner. Like I said, it doesn't matter where we start. So I've gone in under both loops there, grab my new yarn, and you can use any colour you like. You could make the border in a couple of the colours that you've used for your square if you like. So I'm just laying this over the top of the hook there and pulling it through the hole. And what we're going to do, we're going to work single crochet all the way around. So I'm going to do a chain one. I'm going to pull down the short piece at the back here, and what that does is secures that to our work. I'm going to go into the same stitch where I joined my yarn in there. I'm going to work my single crochet. So that's yarning over, pulling up a loop. You've got 2 on your hook, and yarning over and going through both stitches on our hook. So we're going to work across. We're going to work single crochet in each stitch that we have on the row that is the top of our bag. And then when we get to our corners, we are going to work a few extra stitches, and what this does is makes it lay flat. If you've ever worked a blanket before and you've done your corner and it's curled up, so it's curled in towards you, it means you haven't put enough stitches in the corner and it's pulled too tight. So when we get to the corner stitch, and what the corner stitch is the stitch that is closest to the corner of your work. So you've got the straight side coming up, straight side coming across, and where those 2 points meet, that is your corner stitch. Now I'm going to work 3 single crochets. You could work 2, but it may still not lay flat. So I'm going to work 3 into the corner stitch. So that's 1, going back in the same one, 2, and also 3. And you could also work this last round that we're doing here. You could also use the half double crochet stitch if you wanted to. So now that we've done our corner, we need to work back down the other side of our bag. So we're using a single crochet stitch, and we're just working down the side of our bag. Now your bag should be starting to take shape now. Pretty much all we've got to do is this, and then put the handles on. So I'm just going to race across. And then what we're going to do is come to another corner, but it's where 2 corners meet, or 3 actually corners meet together. So we're going to have to do our stitches a little different. Okay, and when we get to the corner here, we've got this square here is meeting together, this square here is meeting in the corner, then also on the back side the other square there, but actually we've got 4 corners meeting together. So what we want to do is work a decrease stitch over this, because you could work just a normal crochet stitch into there, but it's going to sort of bulk out here, and it can lay funny and sit funny, and it's not going to look very nice. So what we're going to do is, when we get down to there, I've got to do one more. What we're going to do is work a decrease stitch. Hang on, I'm just trying to get it so I've got a white background. There we go. So anywhere in here you can work your little decrease stitch. You're going to go into the stitch, so this stitch is the corner that's on this square. You've got this as number 1, 2, 3 and the 4th square is here. So corner number 2, going to go into there, pull up a stitch. You're going to leave 2 loops on your hook. We're going to go into the second square here, so our first one's here and this is the second one. Going into the corner of that stitch. And then also we're going to go into the corner of this square that's here. So here's a square and there's a corner here somewhere. So there it is, a corner stitch. Pull up a loop and you've got 4 loops on your hook. So we've decreased over 3 stitches. Normally you probably just do it 2. That's like the normal sort of run-of-the-mill decrease. It's over 2 stitches, but we're just doing it over 3. We're going to pull through all loops on our hook. And now we can single crochet across there. So I'm going to do a couple of stitches and then just show you what it looks like. Oops. So this is where we've single crocheted down here and we've done the decrease stitch there. Now it looks better because it looks like it's just the corner. If we had have put all stitches in all those 3 stitches that we decreased around, if we'd put just 1 in each of those, we'd have 3 extra stitches in the corner there, and it's going to be, it just looks weird. Okay, so you can do it like that if you want, but I think it looks weird, so I don't do it like that. So what you're going to do, you're going to work across. The bag's getting big now, so it's hard to squish it up. You're going to work across and you're going to do your 3 stitches in the corner. Then you're going to work down and do that decrease that we did there. You can rewind the video a little bit if you need to be reminded what to do. And we're going to continue around the top of our bag until we get back to where we started on this round. So I'm going to keep going off camera and I'll meet up with you in a minute. When we come around, we are going to join to the first stitch with a slip stitch. Oops, got to do one more single crochet and then join with a slip stitch. And then we're going to cut our yarn off wherever we are. We are going to pull through, so just do a chain stitch, pull through, and then we are going to sew in our ends, and then we're going to get started on the handles. So we have our bag completed here with all of our squares, and now we're going to make our handle. Now this version just uses a flat strip, and I use the single crochet stitch. You can use a half double crochet, you can use a double crochet, it's completely up to you. But what you need to do is make a chain that is long enough to be your handle. Now I chose 80. I am using 8 ply, which is equivalent to sports weight and double knit yarn. The 80 was the perfect length for me if you want a long handle. But if you want a short handle, you're going to do less. So this bit's up to you. You're going to make your chain as long as you want your handle. And then you are going to make a few rows. So I'll show you how to do that now, because obviously I need to make my other handle. And we'll see how we're going to do that in just a sec. So what you're going to need to do is leave a length of yarn, because if you look at this one, I've left a length of yarn so that when we attach our handles we've got something to sew it on with. So you're probably going to use leave about, I don't know, 20 centimeters, or about, that's about 10 inches maybe. You're going to leave a length of yarn anyway. So you're going to make a slip knot. However you make that is up to you. because you've got this far in the project, you certainly know how to make one. And then we're going to make our chains. Now, like I said, I chose the number 80. You can choose however many you like. But what you're going to do is you're going to write that number down, because you want to make one identical to this for the other handle for the other side of the bag. So continue on, make your chain. As you go, you can size it up. You can grab your bag and lay your chain between here and here, and you're going to see how big your handle's going to be. Now, it is going to change slightly. It's going to get, I think, slightly shorter or slightly longer. I'm not really sure, because when we make our stitching into our chains, it's going to change slightly the length of it. So it's not going to be exact, but you're going to get it pretty close. So I'm going to do my chain, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you what to do next. And when we start our handle, see how it's starting to twist there? It's perfectly normal, because we haven't done enough rows for it to lay perfectly straight. But once we sew it on and we use our bag, it is going to stay straight. It won't twist at all. So this is what we need to do to make our handles. Now, I use a single crochet stitch for the other handle that you just saw, but you can use the half double crochet or a double crochet. So if you're going to use the single crochet, you're going to go to the second stitch and make your single crochet. If you're using a half double crochet, you're going to go to the second stitch. If you're using a double crochet, you're going to go to the third stitch. So whatever you choose to do is up to you. And what we're going to do is we're going to do one stitch, no matter which one you choose, in every stitch across until we get to the other end of our chain. So when we get to the last stitch, we are going to go into there, and then if you used a single crochet, you're going to chain 1, half double crochet you'll chain 2, and a double crochet you'll chain 3. You're going to turn your work, and then we're going to work back down the other side. Now when I use a single crochet and a half double crochet, I actually go into that stitch, that first stitch there. But if you've done a double crochet, you're going to have a chain 3, and then you're going to work into the second stitch. And I just find that when I do that first stitch in here, it gives her a neater edge with single crochet and half double crochet. So you're going to work across with your stitches, and then work for as many rows as you like. Now I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows here. Don't forget I'm using the skinny yarn, not like the worsted weight yarn that you've got. So I might need a few more rows than what you need. Like I said, make it any thickness that you like. And when we've finished both of our handles, we're going to sew them on. So now it's time to sew on our handles, because you will have 2 handles exactly the same length. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab one of those handles, and you would have finished off and left a long end. And I've just had mine, here it is. Just thread your yarn. And what we're going to do is, this is the outside of the bag, so we've got the good side facing us. Grabbing our handle, we are going to be sewing it to the top of the bag just here. So grabbing your handle, placing it behind. I'm going to be really fussy. I don't want to cover up that hole, because I want that to be the effect of the granny square. So I'm only going to put my handle down at the back. So I've only got it just a little bit attached there. And what we're going to do is if you've got a nicer side to your handle, I think that I don't know why, but that side looks nicer. Should be the same because it's reversible, but anyway, we're going to stitch that down. So you want to make sure it's nice and even, and we're going to stitch it to our bag. I'm sorry about the lighting at the moment because it's got dark here, and I promised everybody on Facebook that I would have this video uploaded, so I am keeping to my promise. So I've just had to do a little bit of filming at night time, but you're just going to be stitching it to your bag. Like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over when I've finished this side. I'm going to flip it over, getting my needle out the front of the bag, and then I'm just going to stitch down this edge to the handle as well, because I want to have it nice and neat. Small stitches look neater than really big ones, because the smaller the stitches are, or the more noticeable, or less noticeable they will be. So just going to do that, and then what we're going to do is we're going to repeat this to all 4 points of our bag to attach our handle. And don't forget, when we're attaching this handle, we want to make sure that it's not twisted, otherwise it's going to look really weird. And then we're going to attach it the other side, making sure that that's not twisted. Yep, that's perfect. So you're going to thread this yarn from this end of the handle and sew that on there, and then I will catch up when I've got both my handles sewn on. If you want to, you can work a row of slip stitches around the outside. So let's just lay our bag flat. Work a row of slip stitches around, so this is the inside of the handles. You could work a row of slip stitches around there, and then work a row of slip stitches around the outside of the handles, and that will stop them from stretching too much because the slip stitch will hold it in place. Don't do the slip stitches too tight, otherwise it'll start to pucker up, but you want them just nice and even, and work it all the way around. So let's have a look at my bag, hey? I hope your bag is looking just as good, and if you want to, you can share a photo on our Facebook page. It's a brilliant page over there. I really love it over there. Hang on guys, I'm just trying to get my camera off. There we go. And also, if you're on our Ravelry page, or you can email me a photo if you want to share your creation with me. The email will be in the box below the video with the descriptions. So there's my handles and my bag. So thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. It was quite a big project, but I think it's totally worthwhile, don't you think? It's come out really nice. So until we meet again, happy crochet.